All right, welcome to Your Time, Your Money, the show where your time is just as valuable as your money, and we know that. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We always appreciate our listeners returning to our quality content. Today, we thought it would be a good session to talk about whether Social Security is going to be there or not. I think it's a timely topic because we're in an election year. And Social Security is used as a political bludgeon, so to speak. People will always drive fear when it comes in an election year about another politician wanting to take Social Security away, whether those statements are accurate or not. It is a divisive point, and it does drive votes at the polls. So I thought it would be a good chance to really talk about whether or not it's going to be there, because we hear so many rumors about Social Security, about the system collapsing or not being able to pay benefits. So we wanted to kind of take a realistic approach so that you can make your own decision when it comes to whether Social Security is going to be there or not. So right now, as is, Social Security system is set to pay full benefits to all Social Security earners up until the year of 2034. So 2033 is actually the last year scheduled based on if we made no changes, where Social Security is going to pay its promised benefits to Social Security recipients. So what does that mean? That means we need some type of reform. And you hear this word reform a lot, and it is used a lot in the political world. So reform does not mean blowing up the system. And you hear that a lot, is they want to take Social Security away from you. They want to change the system. Reform means modifying or tweaking Social Security to make sure that it's there for future recipients. So what are some ways that they can reform Social Security without blowing up the system? Well, I'm going to go through 5, kind of ways that they can do that, and I'll let you decide whether or not one or two of them are reasonable, and one or two of them may shore up the system for you. So let's take away some fear right away. So first and foremost, part of reform, and without blowing up the system, would be to raise the payroll tax that individuals and corporations pay into Social Security. So right now it's set at 6.2%. Your employer pays 6.2%, and you as a worker pay 6.2%. So about 12.4% going into the Social Security system. Well, they can easily raise those rates on either side, the corporate side or the individual side. Right now, there's some legislative proposals out. It's called Social Security 2100. It's put out by John Larson, a Democrat out of Connecticut. And it would propose that employers increase from 6.2% to 14.4%. So that proposal actually requests that employers double their tax that they pay into Social Security for your earnings. That could help shore up the system. It would put a lot of stress on small business owners. So the details of that bill would have to be looked into and see what's the effect going to be on the economy and businesses. But there's one type of reform. They could also do a similar thing through a bill or a legislative act that would increase the amount that individuals pay into Social Security. So not necessarily just corporations, but both. So there's a reform that could help shore up the system and would bring more money into the system than is being paid out. So there's one example. Another example, number 2, would be to increase the wages that are subject to Social Security tax. Not a lot of people realize that it's only your first $137,700 that's actually being taxed for Social Security. So that 6.2% that you're paying, or 6.2% that the employer is paying, is only on your first $137,700. So if you make $200,000, or let's say make the math easy, if you make $237,700, that second $100,000 that you're making, that does not get taxed currently for the Social Security tax system. So there's a simple fix that they could do, is they can increase that. And there's actually a proposal in place to actually increase that up to $300,000. So your first $300,000 would be taxed by the Social Security system. Who would that affect? That would affect people obviously over $137,700 a year in earnings. So there's another type of reform that would drive more money into the system to help shore it up. So we have two tax increases as part of a reform that could shore up the Social Security system. Once again, we're not talking about taking away benefits, and we're not talking about blowing up the system. We're just talking about tweaking the system to shore it up. And this is, I think, once again, where politicians use it as a tool to be divisive. Those are some, policies that could help shore up the system. The third would be to raise the full retirement age of workers from 67 to, say, 69. And there's been some proposals through Congress that have proposed raising the full retirement age to 69. Well, what would that do? That would defer a lot of people claiming early, and understanding life expectancy. As people live longer, they tax the system more. So their thought is, let's change this age from 67 to 69. Right now, currently, if you were born in 1960, your full retirement age is 67. So they would alter that based on people born after a certain date. Might not be for people in their 40s or 50s. They might change that date for the younger generation. So for instance, for my kids, they might change it so that they can't collect till 69 or 70 or even beyond that. So there's another way to tweak or reform the system that could help shore up Social Security. And that's to change the full retirement age. They could also, in that same context, they could also change the age of when you can claim. So right now you can claim at 62 on your earnings record and take a discounted or a reduced benefit. They might change that to 65. So that whole grid could change easily. The fourth way that I would bring up that they could change is they could also reduce the cost of living adjustments that they currently do to Social Security. So just give you an idea. So in last few years, saw about a 2.8% boost in Social Security in 2018, 2019, 1.6 in 2020, 5.6 in 2021, and actually last year was 8.7% increase in your Social Security benefits. They could reduce or stop cost of living adjustments altogether. This would have more effects on seniors, obviously, as inflation takes hold if they're not having cost of living adjustments, but it is a type of reform that is on the table. It doesn't reduce benefits, but it will reduce future growth on the benefits. So reducing that cost of living adjustments or doing away with them altogether is another form of Social Security reform that could help shore up the system. And then the fifth or final point I would say, and the one that I think is political suicide, which is why you don't see a lot of kind of sponsorship to this within Congress, and that's to actually cut benefits. So if no reform is done, the mandated reform would be to cut benefits. And right now, about 78% of benefits will be funded after 2034. So that would mean that if your benefit was cut by, say 20%, a typical household would drop about $365 a month in benefit. But that is a reform, right? Paying people less to shore up the system for more people coming on would be a type of form. But once again, I think that is the last ditch effort to free up the system if there isn't a political consensus on the other four. So I wanted to take some time today and really walk through those reforms with you. Hopefully it gives you a little better idea of some minor tweaks and changes that administrations can do, no matter who gets in, to shore up Social Security and make sure that those benefits that were promised are paid for workers past 2034. So if you'd like to find out more information about your specific Social Security needs, if you would like Iron Tree Financial to run a full analysis and give you options and scenarios that can maximize your Social Security benefits, reach out to us at 43 British American Boulevard in Latham, New York, 12110. You can reach us at 844-444-YTYM, Your Time, Your Money, to schedule an appointment, whether it's in person, Zoom, or phone call. And as always, you can find us online at irontreefinancial.com. Don't forget to share this with friends and other coworkers and subscribe. As always, it's your time and your money. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Your Time, Your Money. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to share this with friends, family, coworkers, anyone else that you think might be interested. If you do have questions or topics, you can always email them to irontreefinancial@ceterais.com. Please follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Spotify, Google Play, and many other sources that were available. And you can reach us at 844-444-YTYM. And as always, it's your time and your money.